my name is Mallory and welcome to my YouTube channel, Graceful Pilates. Today's video is a level 1 45-minute workout for the Pilates reformer. I have some props I am going to be using today. They are going to be a ball. I have one by Bala today, as well as a sitting box. I have a sitting box light, which means that I have these grooves underneath where I can hook the shoulder blocks onto them. All right, so to begin, I'm gonna start with 2 reds and 1 blue. I am on an leg row 2, so that's 1 medium and 2 heavy springs. Lay on down, head on that headrest. You can have that headrest up or down. Have those shoulders not too squished up against those shoulder blocks. Starting with heels on the foot bar, hip distance apart, which is just about a fist distance worth. Neutral spine, so you're going to have just a little bit of room that gust of wind can go through where those ribs are located. Otherwise, you are planted onto that carriage, staring up straight ahead. Palms go long, down by your sides, palms facing down. Now, inhale to prepare, then exhale and press those legs out straight. And return. You're here for 10. Try not to have a bend in those wrists. More than halfway there. Slight flex in those ankles. 2 more, focusing on those glutes here. And 1 more, press all the way out, hold it. Go in halfway, hold it here halfway. Open both knees, keeping that carriage still for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fully extend those legs out straight, then back in. Rest for a moment by windshield wiper those legs side to side. All right, once you're ready, keeping that neutral spine, you're going to place both of your arches of your feet onto that foot bar. Again, parallel legs. Arms still long by your side, staring up straight ahead. A gust of wind can go through those ribs. Now, once you're ready, with a slight flex in those feet, you're going to fully extend those legs out straight, not letting those knees flare, and then returning back in. Good, you're here for another 10. Go at your own pace. Exhale as you extend, inhale as you return. Halfway there. One more, fully extend, hold it here, go in halfway, and pulse for up and down, 1 inch for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full extension all the way back in. Windshield wiper those legs again. Good. Your arches of your feet are going to stay on that foot bar. You're just going to create a Pilates V with those feet. So arches on, heels touching below that foot bar, legs glued together, press out, full extension for 10. Again, neutral spine, starting up straight ahead, palms by your sides. Exhale, and then inhale. 2 more. 1 more, hold it out. Keep those legs long, lower those heels for a nice stretch for 5, 4, 3, heels should be touching, 2, 1. Lift those heels all the way back in. Good. Now the toes are going to go on that foot bar, legs touching, heels lifted as much as you want to challenge yourself today. The higher your heels, the more of a challenge it will be. Now, once you're ready, all weight on all 10 toes, including the big toe and the little toes. Arms down by your sides, inhale to prepare, exhale as you fully extend those legs for 10, 9, 8, 7, in, hold those legs out long, lower and lift those heels for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lift those heels, return all the way back in. Windshield wiper those legs. One more set of footwork before moving on. Heels go to opposite corners of that foot bar with your feet, your toes pointed slightly at an angle towards that ceiling, being mindful of where those hips are. You want those hips in alignment with those ankles. Press out and return for 10, 9, 8, exhale, then inhale, halfway there. Last set of the footwork series, 3, 2, 1. Full extension, hold it here. Go in halfway and do a 1-inch pulse up and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way out, all the way back in. Good job. Knees can go to chest. You can rock like a ball, whatever feels good here. All right, once you are ready, it is time for some bridges. So, keep that ball nice and handy by the side of your machine. Grab it for me. Place both of your heels onto that foot bar. You're going to place the ball in between those knees. Start with heels on that foot bar. If it's a little too much, then you can go to the arches of your feet. If it's too heavy on your glutes and your hamstrings, go to the arches. But try to start with heels first with your ankles flexed. Once you're ready, arms out long, palms facing down by your sides. Neutral spine. Again, you should have a little bit of a gap at that thoracic region, so those rib area. You should have a nice stable arms, palms facing down, staring up straight ahead. Once you're ready, without the carriage moving, try to lift on up, rolling those hips up into your bridge. Now, if you feel it too much in your lower back, go a little bit lower on that bridge. And once you're at your bridge, you're going to squeeze that ball between your knees and then articulate that spine one vertebrae at a time down, starting from top, middle, and then last is your tailbone to hit that carriage. Good. You're here for 12. Again, slowly roll those hips up, nice and even. There should not be, your chin should not be to your chest, staring straight up at that ceiling. Good. Rolling all the way down, one vertebrae at a time. Good. Lift up, squeeze that ball. I forgot to the last set, so don't forget to squeeze, roll back down. Lift up, squeeze that ball, lower, back, down. Good. Roll up, squeeze, and back down. Try to keep that carriage all the way back in. Rolling those hips up, squeeze, roll back down. If you need to, add another spring to make sure that carriage doesn't move. Halfway there. Roll back down. Chin should not be to chest. Roll one vertebrae at a time. Don't forget to squeeze at the top. Heels nice and neat. Hips nice and even. 3 more. 2 more. On this last one, you're gonna hold that bridge and squeeze that ball and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the squeeze and roll all the way down. You can remove that ball for a second and knees can go to chest, roll like a ball, whatever feels good. Once you're ready, your left heel only is going to go on that foot bar. Right heel is not going on that foot bar. You're going to pray your right leg into tabletop, so knee 90. You're going to place the ball underneath your right foot. Oh, I'm not wearing the right pants for this. I'm not getting a good grip. Oh dear. All right, once you're ready, arms out long by your sides, not pressed into that shoulder block. Just your left heel on that foot bar, right leg in tabletop. Roll on up, nice and even into a bridge, and roll back down. One vertebrae at a time goes down. Try to keep that carriage still. Add a spring if you need to so the carriage does not move. Halfway there. Chin should not be to chest. 2 more. One more. Good, roll all the way down. Remove that ball. Windshield wiper those legs. All right, once you're ready, right heel goes on that foot bar, left leg goes into tabletop, ball underneath, opposite leg. Arms go out long by your sides. Oh dear. Maybe wear leggings for this one, I'm not sure. Okay, once you're ready, opposite leg in tabletop, opposite heel on the foot bar. So I have right heel on the foot bar, left leg in tabletop with that ball for another 8 bridges. Roll on up, nice and even. Articulate back down. Arms out long. Don't forget to breathe. 3 more. 2 more. And 1 more. All the way back down. Remove that ball. Windshield wiper, side to side. All right, carefully lift on up. If you can, remove those shoulder blocks for this one, just so that they're out of the way for a second. We'll put them back on, so make sure that they're nice and close. Back on that reformer. The ball is going to go just between those scapulas. Right on the upper back. Both of your legs go tabletop, so legs go 90. Knees 90, shins parallel that floor. Slight flex in those feet so you see the tops of your toes. Hands go behind your head. Just feel that spinal stretch past that ball. And lift on up, curl on up, the upper chest, and then back down past that ball. Lift on up. Go back down. Use that ball to support you to really deepen that spinal movement. Lifting on up. See if you can get a little bit higher each time. Halfway there. Four more. One more. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carefully lower on down. Place that ball off to the side. Those shoulder blocks can go back onto the reformer if you remove that. All right, once you're ready, you're gonna grab that box. It's gonna go long ways on the machine. If you have sitting box light, you can hook it onto the shoulder blocks. All right, for this next move, it's gonna be the plank series. So you can go on your forearms or you can go onto your palms. You're gonna stand in front of your box longwise and place both of your forearms or both your palms onto that box, one leg at a time, props out behind you, and you will hold this plank for a minute. Hips should stay even with those shoulders. Hold it here, staring straight ahead, no bend in that neck. Zip up those abs. Really focus on that core here, as well as your deltoid muscles. You can curl those fingers on the opposite ends of that box if it feels better. Halfway there. Don't let those hips fall. Ten more seconds. Almost there. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift on up. You can hang on over that box. Feel a nice stretch going up those legs. All right, once you're ready, you can remove that box, place it off to the side. Now, go ahead and grab that ball. You should still have 2 reds and 1 blue on. Going to slightly change that to 1 red and 1 blue, or just 1 red or 1 blue, depending on what your body needs right now for some sideline work. Ball is going to go on that headrest. Headrest should be down, laying on one of your sides. Bottom arm is going to grab that shoulder block. Top arm is going to grab the top of that shoulder block. Once you're situated, you have a nice little curve on your side. Both of your knees are going to be stacked, bent, shin parallel the front of that carriage. You should have about 2 inches behind you on your back. Your knees should be stacked, legs, your feet should be stacked, hips should be stacked. Head should be stacked, neck should be stacked, everything staring straight ahead. Once you are ready, your top leg is going to lift on up. Parallel foot, whole foot touching the foot bar with your heel powering this movement. Press out and return. You're here for 12. Don't let the foot lift. Whole foot is on that foot bar, pressing out using that heel. Again, staring straight ahead. Both of your hands can grab that shoulder block. 4 more. One more. Press all the way out. Hold it here. Return all the way back in. You can lower that leg that was doing the work on that foot bar for a second. All right, once you're ready, top leg is going to go back on that foot bar. Just the heel, toes pointed at a slight angle towards that ceiling. If it is too much on your hip, you're just going to have less of a pointed toe towards that ceiling. Again, both of your hands are grabbing that shoulder block, staring straight ahead. Use that ball to support your head. A nice little gap on your side. Press out for me for 12. Focusing on those hip flexors. Focusing on that IT band. Really working those glutes here. Staring straight ahead. Halfway there. Two more, powering through that heel. One more, all the way out, all the way back in. Lower that top leg. You can pat it out if you need to. Once you're ready, grab that long loop in front of you. That long loop is going to go past your knee, just past your knee. All right, knees should be stacked, hips should be stacked. Staring straight ahead, both hands still grabbing that shoulder block in front of you. Or if you need to and it feels more comfortable, you can have your top arm by your side or bent by your side, whatever feels better. All right, once you're ready, both of your sides of your feet are going to stay together, and you're just going to hinge open at the knees for some knee abduction work to really work on those hip flexors here. Opening and closing at the knees, keeping the sides of your feet touching the entire time. If you want more of a challenge, you can lift both of your feet. Halfway there, just 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Good. Lower down both legs if you lifted them up. All right, once you're ready, knee is gonna lift on up, that top leg, parallel foot, so I don't want that bottom toe sinking below that heel. You're gonna keep that knee bent and just sweep your leg to the front of your frame and then back behind you for 10. Bottom leg stays on that carriage. If you would like more of a challenge, you're more than welcome to lengthen out that leg. Either way though, you're sweeping that leg to the mid of that carriage and then to the foot bar. One more. Good. Carefully take off that long loop. Hang it on up. Then carefully grab that ball if you need to flip on over to the other side. I have one red spring still on, doing the other side. You want to keep the springs even on the sideline series. The ball again is on that headrest to support you. Bottom arm is going to grab that shoulder block. Top arm can grab that shoulder block and be by your side if you need to. Both of your knees are going to go to the front middle of that carriage, knees bent, shins parallel that floor. You're going to have about 2 inches of room behind you on your back, towards the back of that carriage. You should have a nice little dip in that spine so a gust of wind can get through it. Your top leg is going to lift on up, staring straight ahead. Parallel foot onto that foot bar. Whole foot the entire time is going to stay on that foot bar, powering through that heel for a nice extension. And then returning. Don't let that knee fall and extend. You're here for 12. Staring straight ahead. There should not be a bend in that neck. Hips should be stacked. Halfway there. 4 more. Last one, full extension all the way out, then all the way back in. Good. Top leg can rest on the bottom leg that's on that carriage for a second. All right, next part of the side lying series is the external rotation. So heel goes on that foot bar, hips still stacked, staring straight ahead still, both of your hands grabbing that shoulder block, slight angle of the toes towards that ceiling, press out using that heel to fully extend, and then returning back in. Staring straight ahead. Here for another 12, halfway there. Four more. Don't forget to breathe. And one more, all the way back in. You can lower that top leg. Once you're ready, that long loop is going to go just past your knee on this side, starting with that knee abduction work for those clams. Both of your legs are stacked. Knee is stacked towards the front middle of that carriage, hips stacked. Again, still having that little gap on your side. Both of the sides of your feet touching, both of your hands grabbing that shoulder block, staring straight ahead, just hinging open at those knees and closing. One side might be harder than the other, just keep that in mind. Halfway there, if you lifted your feet on one side, please do so on this side. One more. Close, lower all the way down. Last set for the side lying series on this side. Keeping that knee bent, or if you did straighten out your leg, you can do so on this side as well. Lift that top leg, knee bent or straight. Either way, parallel foot, so bottom toe is not lower than that foot. And you're gonna sweep to the front of your carriage and then back to that foot bar. Don't let that hip fall. You're here for 10. 7. 5. 4. 1 more sweep, back, lower, on, down. Carefully taking off that long loop. Good. Hang up that strap. Carefully lift on up. You can place that ball off to the side. All right, once you are ready, adjust your spring to 1 medium or 1 smooth spring, depending on your machine. Going to sit on your carriage facing the front of the reformer, so facing the foot bar, not propped up against those shoulder blocks, just right in front of them. You can have your legs crisscross, or if you don't have tight hamstrings, you're welcome to have your legs go out long, whatever feels better. Again, 1 blue. Once you're ready, you're gonna grab either the long loops or the short loops. Short loops will be more of a challenge. Longer loops are a little bit less of a challenge. Both of your hands tucked by your sides, elbows tucked by your midline, palms facing up, palms up, staring straight ahead. Stack that spine, shoulders not hunched up, staring straight ahead. And once you're ready, you're gonna serve and return to your midline, stopping just at your midline. Don't let those elbows go past. You're here for 12. Go a little bit slower if you can. 2 more. Stopping at your midline. Last one. Hold those arms out nice and long. Circles going out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching directions of those small circles for 5, 4, 3, tennis ball size, 2, 1. Holding up, pulsing up and down with those arms for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering those arms on down. Good. Roll out those shoulders if you need to. All right, 1 more set of serving. So either the short loops or the long loops, whichever your body needs right now. Elbows tucked in by your sides, palms facing up. Again, pressing out, long arms. Now open up to a V, then return back to parallel arms and return elbows to your midline, then pressing back out, pausing, open out to a V, returning back, and then returning to that starting position. You're here for 12. Making sure you pause in between. Shoulders should not be hunched up. Halfway there. Press out, pause, V, return parallel, return all the way back in. Good. Press out, V, parallel, return. 4 more. Two more. Last one. Parallel, V, parallel. Hold it here and pulse up and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way back in. Good job. Pause for a moment. Again, you can roll out those shoulders if you need to. All right, once you're ready, palms facing that foot bar. You're gonna create a diamond shape with those arms just in front of your forehead, palms out long. Press out, long, return just in front of your forehead. You're here for 12. Hinging slightly forward. Four more. Exhaling as you extend, inhaling as you return. One more, press out, fully return. Pause for a moment. This next one is going to be tricep work. You can have your hands interlaced, which is a little bit easier, or you can have your palms facing each other. You can switch to the long loops if you need to. This is going to be some tricep work. You're going to hinge slightly forward with that upward torso, staring straight ahead. Arms are going to go out long, palms facing each other. If you need to, you can interlace your hands. Otherwise, keep them parallel, facing each other. Arms have your head in between your arms, hinging forward, and you're bending behind you for 10. Return to starting. And then hinging behind you, focusing on those triceps here. Two, last one, hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, return all the way back. Hang up those long loops, one on each side. All right, once you have your straps hung up, carefully stand on up to one side of your reformer, adding one spring. So you're gonna have one red and one blue. Box is gonna go back onto that reformer long-wise. Actually, short-wise. So box is gonna go short-wise. If you do not have those wedges, you would just place the box short-wise in front of the shoulder blocks. Both knees are gonna go pressed up against that box, facing your box. So facing that headrest for some bear poses. You can either have your palms, your forearms down onto the box, or place both of your palms shoulder distance apart onto that box. All right, once you are ready, you're going to carefully prop your toes onto that standing platform. And once you're ready, you're gonna lift on up onto your knees. Hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower on down, just tapping that carriage and lifting back up. 3, 2, 1, lowering back down. Lifting on up, 3, 2, 1, lowering back down. Lifting, 3, 2, 1, lowering, lifting, 3, 2, 1, lowering, lifting, lowering, lifting. One more set, 3, 2, 1. Carefully Lower all the way down. You can go into a child's pose. All right, once you're ready, either on your forearms or on your palms again, shoulder distance apart, staring just at that headrest. Carefully curl those toes onto that back platform. And once you're ready, you're gonna lift up and hold that bear pose for 30 seconds. Staring at that headrest, just past that headrest. Knees are hovering just a couple inches above that carriage, more than halfway there. For 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carefully lower on down. You can go into a child's pose. Hold it here. All right, once you are ready, you can take off that box. Place the box off to the side you're done with that box. All right, you can keep one blue and one red spring on your reformer, or you can change out one blue spring and have two heavy springs, so two reds. Lay back down supine, so head on that headrest down for this one, for the cool down. Carefully, both of your heels on that foot bar, both legs fully extend. Left leg is going to grab that long loop, placing it on the arch of your foot. Leg is tabletop. Grab that right long loop, place it onto your right foot, just the arch of the right foot. So your long loop should be on the arch of both of your feet. Legs go back into that tabletop position to start. Knees bend at 90, shins parallel that floor. Slight bend in those toes, so you slightly flexed. Starting with some frogs. So your knees are gonna go to opposite shoulders. You're gonna have nice heels touching, so Pilates V. Knees to opposite shoulders, again, heels touching, slight rotation out, toes pointed at an angle. Once you're ready, you're gonna press out long in front of you and return to that starting position. Knees are pointing towards opposite armpits and returning. Halfway there, don't let your sacrum lift. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Legs stay nice and long. Lifting on up. You can tug on those ropes here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Carefully, arms go out long by your sides. Legs stay nice and long. And they are going to go out to the sides, lower on down towards the frame, meet in the middle, and then lift on up for leg circles in one direction. Lower back should not be lifting. If your lower back is lifting, then make smaller circles. Lifting on up, pulling apart, lowering down, meeting in the middle. Halfway done in this direction. Two more in this direction. Again, lower back should not be lifting. 1 more in this direction. Meet at the bottom on this next one. Legs should be touching at the bottom. Now open those legs to opposite, past the frame, lifting on up, then meeting in the middle, just switching directions of those leg circles. Again, lower back should not be lifting. arms out long, starting up at that ceiling. Two more in this direction. Meet at the top. Try to get those arches of the feet facing that ceiling again. Tug on those ropes for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carefully lower down those arms again. Going back into a tabletop position. So knees bent at 90. Or knees bent at 90, shins parallel that floor. Slight flex in those toes to see the tops of your toes. Once you are ready, you're going to do a static hold. So the carriage is not moving, you're just opening the right side of your knee to the side. Again, try to keep that carriage nice and still. You're just opening up at those knees. Right side first. One more. Now other side. Right leg stays in tabletop. Left leg just opens out to the right by the knee. Hinging out to the side. Three more on this direction. So opposite leg only. Other leg stays in that tabletop. Two more. One more. Both legs in tabletop. Now both legs open out to the sides and return for 12. The knee should not be past those hips. Static hold again. Halfway there. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Legs stay in that tabletop. Now press those legs out long in front of you. 45-degree angle. Once you're ready, legs are going to go out to opposite sides. Lift on up past the frame. Then lower back down to 45 and meeting in the middle. It's almost making a smiley face with your legs. Again, lifting at the sides, past that frame, then going back to 45 and meeting in the middle. 4 more. Last one. Hold your legs out to the sides. You can tug on both of those ropes. Hold it here. Good. Both of your legs can go back in the tabletop into a happy baby, so knees to the chest. Either grabbing those big toes or the arches of your feet, whichever feels better. Hold it here. All right, once you're ready, you can release your arms down back to your sides. Arches of your feet are gonna face each other and go into your lowest butterfly with your knees bent. Hold it here. This is the final stretch. Inhaling through the nose, out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Set your intention for the rest of the day. Maybe press your palms into your inner thighs to really deepen that stretch. Hold it here. All right, good. Carefully go back into tabletop. Starting with that right loop, hanging back up, left leg still stays in tabletop, right leg goes onto that foot bar, left leg releases that loop and lowers onto that foot bar, hanging up that left loop. Carefully lift on up. Let me get a little situated here. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's full body 45-minute workout with a box and a ball. I hope you have a great day. Please like, comment, and subscribe what you would like to see next on my channel, Graceful Pilates. You have a great day. Thanks, bye.